All right, so in this video, I'm going to show you a very efficient way to make and post a ton of short form content. Now, there's several key features in this, and really the two big ones are repurposing and automations. Now, when I talk about repurposing, I'm going to show you my first step in creating content. And you'll see on my screen here, what I have is OBS Studio, and what you can't see is I have another screen off to the side here. And that's my second screen. I just kind of plug my HDMI. And what this lets me do is I'm going to move this around so you can see it. But basically, my entire widescreen up there, I don't need to show the entire screen. What I'm trying to do is just show Instagram in a tab.
In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you
Now, when I learned to edit videos, when I learned to shoot,
So basically what this lets me do is it lets me shoot videos. Ironically enough, that video came up. But essentially, I'm here on the bottom, right? I got my camera, my mirrorless Sony a7 IV right there. And I've got one feed here inside of OBS. And OBS is free, by the way. And basically, I'm capturing my video capture device in the bottom. I'm not even showing the whole thing. I'm just showing like my head. So my head, it can actually like look up and react to these videos. And the videos, it's literally just, I've got Instagram open in this tab, right? And what I've done is I've resized it so that it fits perfectly in there without showing anything more than I needed to. And basically with OBS in the bottom right here, you can basically hit start recording, and then you can use a hotkey for pause, or you can just manually press pause. So essentially on the second screen, I'm able to watch Instagram content while this is on recording, but it can be recording actively or paused. So what I'm doing is I'm kind of scrolling through Instagram.
Okay, I know the point of this.
And I'm watching some content, and if I like it and I have a genuine reaction to it, commentary, any specialized knowledge I can add in, I just let it play a little bit. Then I explain my thoughts, my unique angle on what's being talked about. And ideally what I want to do is use a strong hook phrase at the beginning of every single one of these. So it helps if they have a nice hook phrase, but I can just say hook, like the hook first. So like on this one, he's talking about, I guess, lowering your IQ. So I might say something, I might basically hit start recording, unpause the recording, and I'll say, people think having a high IQ means something, but you probably want to lower it to get some benefits. And that's just like a decent hook. I guess I could probably come up with something better if I slow down, just kind of shooting from the top. But that comes in handy for later. But let me finish this out with you first, because essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit here, which I just did it. I just did like 30 minutes where I was just doing this workflow. And the idea is I want one long form video with a bunch of shorts in it that has a bunch of hooks. And you can see it right here where dude, I just drove from Fairfax today, and I definitely feel the pain, man.
That's a lot of pressure.
Media talent. This is a pretty cool video from Aaron Martinez where he's talking about monetization.
Monetization, right? Like YouTube, they'll pay you for the ads that they put on your videos. But the mistake that people make is they think that monetization is the only way of doing things, or like brand deals or affiliate deals. And the problem with those things is like a lot of times you don't own those things. Like if you're doing a brand deal, is you're not in charge of that brand.
Yeah, this is, so you can see like I'm about to go into like my little hot take on that. But the whole idea is now that I got this like 16, it looks like 15-minute clip, 15-minute long form video that has a bunch of shorts inside of it. It's very easy for me to just kind of do this because I'm trying to get a lot of volume done, right? So once I record this, there's probably like 10 reels in there, and it took me like 20 minutes, really quick and easy setup. But once all this is in there, essentially after OBS is done, I'm going to show you the next step, which is basically going to be an Opus Pro. And in Opus Pro, this is just an amazing thing. I think I spent like $80, $100. Don't quote me on that. Actually, let's check out the pricing real quick. Basically, like you can buy these packs, and it's giving you like 3,600 processing minutes. You can pay monthly as well. You can do like the little free trial. And it even has a social media schedule, but I'm going to show you here in a little bit why that doesn't matter. All we really want to use this for is dropping our long form clip, which right here in the dashboard, you can see I've got about 5 minutes left for this to finish processing. But let me show you some other stuff we did today where we dropped in like a longer video, and it automatically in Opus cut it together.
Yeah, it's funny because a lot of buyers over the last few years, they don't realize that they can probably save $100 to $300 a month.
So pretty cool. Like it's automatically moving those things around. It's screen sharing. And I'll show you the video that we put in there to get that result. So you see right here, right? Like this is the long form video where it was two different camera angles, and I edited it together so it's side by side. But Opus has actually taken that video and it's reframed it. It's added the caption in the middle, and it's even given it a score, right? Like it says like, hey, this has a good hook, this has good flow, this has good engagement, and it's basically like a minute-long clip. You can set the speed and everything on it, but right here it spit out a bunch of short-form reels, right? Out of that like 5-minute video, we got 4 reels. And their editor is pretty easy. Like I have a couple of VAs that kind of handle the back end of this. Once you have this in there with the captions, you can actually add B-rolls and do all that fun stuff. For me, I don't even want to bother with it. I just want to post a lot of content out. And the idea is, you know, if you can automate it and have a good workflow, I could sit here for an hour a day basically and probably shoot out 10 different pieces of content. But the next part of this, and this is, you know, covering the repurposing part, we actually want to divvy this out to social media. And I'm using Metrical for this. I'm using a software called Frame, but you could easily use Google instead. And I'm using Zapier. So basically what I've done here is I've said, hey, inside of frame.io, which you can think of like a cloud storage thing for videos, if I click this reel and I change the status to approved, then it's going to go ahead and it's going to run it through ChatGPT. And it's going to do like 4 different things in ChatGPT. It's going to create a thumbnail for me. It's going to transcribe that audio file of the video, which is ideally me talking. And then it's going to create like an Instagram / Twitter / YouTube shorts, all these different little descriptions. And then I'm using this software called Placid to basically take that AI generated image and create a thumbnail basically with text on it. Very cool service. It's like $19 a month for their most basic version. And I'll actually show you what it looks like. So like right here, you can see my template. Basically like I got crumpled paper, but that gets replaced. There's different layers. It says tiny homes, huge profits there, but that's because that's what was in the last one that we made. But right here, you can see, right? Like it made a GPT image based off the transcript. It added that text, and that DALL-E image looks pretty great for a thumbnail, because in later steps, what I can do is I can add this customized thumbnail to Instagram automatically. So right here in one of the final steps in Zapier, we're using Metricool, which is $54 a month. They have a cheaper plan, but I think you need to get the 54 in order for it to automatically publish all of your content to a bunch of different platforms. And very specifically, I'm having my content go out automatically to Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, TikTok, and YouTube Shorts, right? So if you're counting, that is 6 different places. Sorry, I was holding up 7. That is 6 different places where this video is going to show up. And that's extremely, extremely, extremely powerful stuff, because 6 times, let's say 10 reels, that means I'm making 60 posts per day. If I'm just spending about 30 minutes, 40 minutes, not even full attention or anything, using this workflow right here. So I'm going to go ahead and test this out for a little bit. I've already done this. I made this automation like a year ago, and I've just cleaned it up, added the Placid stuff. And GPT is obviously a lot better because I got the ChatGPT 4.0 model inside of my Zapier steps. But if you're thinking about making a lot of volume and content, this is definitely the one that I see as sustainable for me personally, because it's actually enjoyable just not having to like sit there and sound super scripted, just genuinely reacting. And React videos tend to perform pretty well. And yeah, I mean, this little automation, all these little tools combined, probably cost me, including API credits, like $120 a month, right? Metricool, $54. Frame is like, I think like $16 for 1 seat. Then Opus, I mean, I got 80 hours for like $160, so I could edit a lot of footage for $100 in there, probably like months worth. And then, yeah, I'm using, I'm using an assistant in-house to kind of come in here, do the Opus stuff, download it from Opus, upload it back into Frame. But this automation right here in Zapier, I'll probably get away for like $40-50 a month to run all like, I don't know, like 20 reels a day times 30, 600 tasks. I'd probably be on like a $75 plan, but pretty insane. I mean, if you're able to work a system like this in an hour a day, that's a lot of posting. And now one thing to mention here too, is if you care to do so, you can actually add 15 brands inside of Metricool, and you can get it to, 15 times 60 pieces of content a day. Now we're getting a little bit spammy at this point, But truth be told, this stuff just works great. Now let's take a look because it finished doing the actual videos and you can see it. But something he mentions here is he kind of implies it. It's not about cost per lead. It's about cost per qualified conversation, right? Like if you're just measuring CPL, that can be a very misleading KPI. So I think the only problem here is where this caption is. It's like right on my face.
Now remember, always chat with a tax expert to see how this could work for you. The IRS gives a hefty tax break called depreciation to property owners.
Yeah, so this is my buddy Gerald, man. My buddy Gerald's been really consistent with social media, but definitely, what people want to. So the only feature I kind of wish this had is just like a better way to bulk edit these captions, because I think I basically got to go in and just either manually edit this and move where the caption's at. And I feel silly. I should have probably just made a template. So I can actually show you that real quick, because you can actually put your like an overlay. You use a default template one time. So like you can see my modified template, and I'm going to go ahead and edit this one real quick. And basically you can say like, hey, I want to make it 9:16, make whatever applicable layout here that makes sense, make it make sense. And then really I'm going to just do fill for this workflow, because like screen share and like split, all that just doesn't make sense to me. You can see I got like a brand logo here, and we're just going to get rid of that entirely. You can just move it off to the side or something. And then for the AI keywords highlighter, I can kind of pick my brand colors out. I'm just going to go with like a nice like lime green, purple. Let's do purple and like light blue. I feel like that's my vibe. I'm a purple and blue kind of dude. And again, you can kind of set this however you want. But right here, you can do the static overlay. So I'm going to get rid of the one that was in there. I'm going to pick something else out. Cool. I'm uploading my logo now. I think I just picked like a marketing icon, which whatever. And then AI emojis, you can have it automatically add your emojis in. And basically right here, I'm going to save the settings to this template. Boom. So now every single time I need to have that, but I totally need to move this. So what I need to do is have the captions show up in the middle of the screen. And that's still going to cause some problems probably. But if I go auto, maybe the top makes the most sense. Now let's keep it in the middle. See, so many options here that you can kind of change like the animation of the text. I feel like box
Now
makes
remember,
sense.
always chat with a tax expert to see how this could work for you. The IRS gives a hefty tax break called depreciation.
But yeah, that looks pretty solid to me. I'm probably gonna change the font color here to like white. And
Property owners.
yeah, so this is my buddy Gerald, man. My buddy Gerald's been really consistent. Yeah, I like that. So now we're just gonna save this template, and I could sit here and hit save changes, and you can like add AI B-roll. I didn't even bother with that for this kind of format. Then you see it's gonna take 3 minutes. Now see, like I don't want to have to go through and manually do all of these. So I'm probably just gonna, honestly, now that I've saved that template, I'll just run 15 minutes worth of credits again. It's just not worth my time to sit there and go through it. It'll probably cost me like $1. So yeah, I just went ahead and uploaded that 15-minute montage of React Reels using OBS. I don't know what you would really call this, a montage. React sounds appropriate to me. And yeah, pretty cool. Like I can sit here and do this all day. Well, not really, I got other stuff to do, but the content's important. To me, I think it'll be pretty cool to see how this works in practice. But this is a proven Zap. I was using a different version of it before, and I'm sure it's going to work just fine even now. All right, so I just got out of Opus Pro. I actually took all those reels that I recorded in about 20 minutes earlier. It took me about 10 minutes just kind of clicking through it. And now I got to find the files, but I just downloaded, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 reels out of Opus from that little 20-minute session, and like 2 minutes putting into Opus while I was talking to you guys about it. So now I basically just like, I'm dragging and dropping these. So all these came out of Opus. They have the captions. They have all the viral hook stuff that was kind of segmented. I made some edits to some, like where there was a little bit of crossover. But kind of going back to what I was saying in the beginning of the video, if you get in the habit of saying a really strong hook followed by like a context sentence that just makes sense, what Opus is doing is it's using ChatGPT to kind of find the best openers and the best ending points. So what I kind of tell people when we're doing actual content coaching is have a strong hook. Try to have like what Devin Jatho calls like an interest peak seconds thing. So like if you want to stop wasting money, you need to listen to what this guy's talking about because he really knows what he's saying. Take a look. And then you let the video play, you do your commentary, and then the last thing you want is a landing point. So a landing point, as I describe it, is basically like it's that final sentence where you just drive it all home. So if you get in the habit of thinking along these terms and using this workflow, Opus is going to give some really great stuff out of the box. But these are uploaded. So now I'm just going to go down the line and just hit approved. And I'm just going to test like 2 for now. And then we're going to come back in about 5 minutes, probably like 6 minutes. Probably say like 3 minutes per automation for this stuff to get scheduled into Metricool. So let's just take a pause and come right back. And it looks like it worked.
This is the Brahma 28 to 45 millimeter f1 point. Yes.
Oh my gosh, man. This is a zoom lens. And I love Sigma. They're such a great brand. So yeah, this totally works. That is a tempting purchase, right? This is scheduled all 3 of those reels from Opus. Now the only error that I'm seeing here is for Twitter max characters. So in Metricool you hit edit by network. That way you can individualize each one. So it looks like this one went over a little bit because of, I'm not sure. I guess I got to adjust that prompt a little bit. I think it's going over mainly because of all the spacing it's added. Even though in the prompt I said, hey, 280 characters, including hashtags, blank spaces, characters, all that stuff. So at the moment, not a huge deal. This is something where, you know, my VA can go in and clean these up. And then for TikTok, I just don't have a business account hooked up at the moment. So what you got to do is basically like hit like publish now, I think. And that should do the trick, honestly. That should just push this out there. So yeah, pretty wicked automation. Little couple things to clean up, but just basically for Twitter. And honestly, I don't even use this Twitter account, but you might as well, right? Like these are all included. Google My Business, again, you can't post videos there. Otherwise, I'd be posting right there as well. And just pretty slick, you know, just a really slick content workflow here. And just as a note, if you wanted to use Placid to create like carousel posts automatically, maybe I can make a video on that. There's some ways to do that, but essentially you just add more media. And you can use, again, Placid, you can have like a little arrow element. That way it's whenever it's a carousel post, you just kind of have that arrow, so more of those users will actually slide on the carousel. And as far as the caption, pretty good. Everyone at our top affiliates earn big without owning brands. By mastering clicks and traffic, SaaS and AI space offer incredible affiliate deals. Why not leverage them? Which is on par with my commentary on this video. So pretty slick. I'm excited. I'm definitely excited about this this whole automation, honestly. I think if I just get rid of that and we go over to publish now. Yeah, well, I guess that's it for this video. Everything's working. See you in the next one.